Wonderful. Okay, so good morning, good early afternoon for everybody here today. Thank you so much for joining us for this chair, gentle yoga, and mindfulness practice session with our beloved teacher here, Judi England. Before we get started, I want to just give you an update. As most of you know, Amit is a leading educational network in Israel, working in over 108 schools in 33 cities with over 37,000 students. And it's been a challenge during this time. They've done everything they can to really meet kids where they are, provide the technology needed, and provide quality distance learning. Now, as we move into this new phase in Israel, schools are reopened, and Amit is doing everything they can to work with the health ministry to provide safety and comfortable settings for these students to reacclimate in their schools. And so we're just so grateful for the service that Amit is able to provide to these children that's so needed to give them a quality education to be thriving adults. And we're grateful in this time here in America to be able to be offering programming that supports the well-being of our community members. And so thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being an Amit supporter in this way and in any other way that you're able to. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started here with Judi. So I'm going to pass it over to her and she'll take us away.
To those who are returning, as well as a welcome to those who are just beginning. Just a few guidelines about yoga in general, and that everything you do in connection with the breath and never to the point of discomfort. It's about working with your body the way it is. In this moment, I'm just going to come up to the screen a minute because there's a message on my screen. Okay, they're fine. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. So we begin always seated, just to transition from the rest of the day, whatever else was going on in your day, whatever you may need to do later. This is your time for practice. This is the time for you. So just letting your feet root down into the earth, maybe rolling your shoulders a bit. And back in the other direction. Shoulders tend to hold on to a lot of tension, a lot of tightness. And then maybe bring those shoulders up towards your ears, create fists with your hands, tighten the muscles of your arms, clench your jaw, press your feet into the floor, and then let all of that tension go with a ha. Just letting yourself settle in. Eyes can be closed, or you can gaze softly at the floor in front of you, whatever feels most appropriate. And we begin by directing our attention to the breath. Just feeling it as it moves in and out of your body. Just noticing. And what is the breath telling you about how your body feels, how your energy feels, what emotions you have, what are your thoughts? And knowing that every part of you is welcome in your practice today. Nothing needs to be left out. And as you breathe, perhaps letting your breath get a little bit deeper so that it begins deep down in the belly and moves up through your chest to your shoulders. And then exhaling from the top down, shoulders, chest, and belly. Breathing in and breathing out. Bringing yourself into this wonderful, never to be duplicated moment. As it's been said, the past is history, the future is mystery, and this moment right now is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Let's take one more deep breath in. Exhale completely, maybe let out a sigh or a sound. And opening your eyes. I'm just going to approach the screen one more time. I keep getting a message on my screen. There. So let's breathe the arms up, stretch up long, maybe grab a hold of opposite wrists, and just kind of stretch from side to side. Feels good just to move from side to side, giving a very gentle pull on the wrist as you sway. And then let your arms float down. So we'll begin with the 6 movements of the spine. And for those of you who are new, know that many of the postures that we do will repeat in upcoming weeks, so you actually get to learn them. So we'll begin with the 6 movements, beginning with the dog and the cat. As you inhale, allow your chest to come forward, shoulders back, head looks up, fill your lungs with breath. And then as you exhale, tuck your chin, roll off your sit bones, let the breath go. Good. Breathing in, opening into dog, and exhaling into cat. Get a nice rhythm going with your body and your breath. Just letting your spine gradually become more open, softer, more subtle. So let's do that one more time. Deep breath in, opening the chest wide, head looks up, and then letting all the breath go as you curl up. And back to center. So we'll move into the twist now. We'll start with the right arm. Take a minute to build some energy from the shoulder to the fingers. Feel as if the muscles are grabbing around the bone, being very active. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring that palm to your left knee, left hand to the side of your chair. So begin with an in-breath to lengthen your spine. And let the out-breath help you twist the shoulder back. Be kind with your neck, don't over-twist. And if you want a little bit of a deeper twist, feel free to take the left leg over the right. Lengthening with each breath, softening into the twist with each exhale. And let's inhale now and come back around to the front and go to the other side. Left arm stretches out. Again, build a lot of energy in that arm from shoulder to fingertips. Bring that pop to your right knee, right hand to the side of your chair. Lengthen on the in-breath, floating that right shoulder back as you breathe out. And if you want to join me, I'm going to cross my right leg over my left, giving a little extra intensity to the stretch. I like to show lots of options so you can do what works best for your body today. We'll get ready to let go on the next in-breath, uncrossing if your legs are crossed, and coming around. So we're going to go through the last 2 movements of the 6 movements, which is called threading the needle. And there's a couple of options. I'll show you very briefly what options there are. You can just slide the one arm along the thigh and under the other arm. That's fine. If you want to go deeper, just let your torso fold forward. You can even sweep the opposite arm up towards the ceiling. So whatever works for you is the best thing to do. So we'll start with that right arm, stretch it out long. Begin by sliding it along your left thigh. And then ease yourself in. You're easing yourself in so you can pay attention. What feels right for you. Let your head be relaxed. Give it a shake. And you can sweep that left arm up towards the ceiling if you like. Just an option, not necessary. Everything is optional. One more deep breath in, and then begin to untwist. Come up. And just pause for a breath. We'll go to the other side. Left arm reaches up. Slide it along your thigh. And ease yourself forward. You might also notice how different one side feels from another. And that's perfectly normal. We are not the same on both sides. Give your head a shake to relax it. And let's release that. Breathing in, coming up. Take another breath. So it's a beautiful day here in Albany. Beautiful sunshine. We've waited a long time for this mild weather. So let's salute the sun with Surya Namaskar. Inhale, sweeping your arms up. Exhaling, reach it back. Take the breath in as you come up, and as you exhale, fold forward, let it go. Palms to the knees, come up halfway, breathe in. Exhaling and folding. Inhaling the arms, sweep up again, and come to rest at the heart. We'll do 2 more of those. Sweeping your arms up, gathering in your energy, exhaling, letting go of the breath. Back into mountain. Nice deep forward fold. Let go of as much breath as you can. Palms to knees, breathe in. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms sweep up. And let's reach back. Nice extension in the spine. Inhaling back to mountain and exhaling back to the heart. And we'll make this the last time. Breathe in. And reach back. Taking the breath in, letting it go on the forward fold. Squeeze the belly towards the spine. Palms to the knees as you breathe in halfway. And exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Gather in all that energy. Exhale, reach it back. Back to mountain. And we come back to prayer at the heart. Take a few breaths and notice how you're feeling. Notice what's beginning to shift because of your practice. So let's get a little core strength going on. We're going to work on the seated Pilates 100. Remember that there are a couple of options here, and also know that if you become tired or short of breath and you need to stop, it's perfectly fine. Just remember to just breathe easily. So your choices are to extend your legs and keep your heels on the ground. If you want to work your abdominal muscles a little more, you're going to lift the feet and point your toes. The legs will stay fixed and your back is away from the back of the chair. The arms will extend and we'll pump them 4 times with the in-breath and 4 times with the out-breath. Here we go. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and breathe in, 2, 3, 4, blow it out. 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Keep the legs quiet. The only thing that's moving is the arms and the breath. And in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, and let's hold. If you need to put your heels down, feel free to do that. But if you'd like, try to bring your chest a little bit further forward, engaging your core muscles. Take a deep breath in, then release your feet, release your hands, separating your feet a little wider apart. Just fold forward and let your abdominal muscles relax. Let it go. So bringing your hands to your hips, engage those core muscles once again, and let's come on up to a seated position. Good. So we're going to work on warrior 1 and warrior 2 and triangle from a seated position. So we'll be doing these poses also standing at some point in our practice over the next few weeks, but I'd like to work on them seated because it's a good place to start. So I'm going to turn and face the left front corner of my chair. You should be able to see the corner of your chair between your thighs. Place your hands on your hips, lengthen your spine. Take a deep breath in and then send the right foot back. Allow that hip to glide towards the floor. Let's press back through the right heel and relax. Press it back and relax. Notice when you do that, press the heel back, how your spine lengthens and you sit a little bit taller. So let's press it back and hold the press. And if you like, you can add your arms to this pose. You can bring them out to the side or overhead. And there's another option with the arms, if you'd like to try it, to bring them behind you. Interlace your fingers, press your palms together, squeeze the shoulder blades, and look up. Nice heart opener here. Keep the breath steady. Let's take one more breath. And then release the arms. Bring the hands back to your hip. So to move into warrior 2, we're going to leave the feet right where they are and just change the position of the arms. So the left arm will reach out in front. The right arm will sweep up behind you. As much as possible, keep your arms level out from the shoulders. Direct your gaze to the left. Find your breath. Notice the sensations. Notice the breath. Once more, breathing in and allow the exhale to bring your arms down. And we'll set up for triangle. So I'm just going to rotate my torso so I'm facing the front, and you'll notice that my feet are really wide apart, as wide as you can make them comfortably. Good. I'm going to start by extending my right arm up, and again, creating lots of length, shoulder to fingertips. Begin to arch over to the left, and you can take your left arm and gently Press the back of your arm against the inside of your left leg. Gaze can be up at the horizon or towards the floor, whichever feels best. And let's release that now. So again, putting the energy in your right arm, bring it all the way up and down. We're going to do a little counter stretch here, just a quick little stretch in the opposite direction. Let's bring the feet together. Take a couple of breaths. And we'll prepare to do those 3 poses on the other side. So turning to face the right front corner of your chair, hands at the hips to begin. Breathe in and exhale. Let's step the left foot back. Allow the hip to glide towards the floor. Press back with the heel and then let it relax. Press back and then relax. And once again, press, this time holding the press. If you'd like, adding your arms. Maybe trying that other position with the arms where they come behind you, fingers interlaced, shoulders pressed together. And find your breath. Wonderful. Release the arms. Again, keeping your torso right where it is. I'm going to extend my right arm in front, left arm behind. You can actually take a minute to look behind you to see if the arms are as level as you can make them. Gaze towards the right and breathe. Another good image to work with on this pose is to imagine that your 2 best friends are pulling your hands in opposite directions, creating lots of space between the shoulders. Breathe in and exhale, let it go. So rotating around to the front, we'll get ready for Trikonasana, which is the triangle. I'm going to stretch up with my left arm this time, really high. See if you can touch the ceiling. And begin to reach to the side, bringing that right arm to the inside of your right leg, pressing your feet into the floor, adjusting your gaze to a direction that works for you. Nice, steady breaths. Wonderful. And let's breathe in, release that, and heel toe, bringing your feet closer together. So let the feet be about hip width apart. We're going to come up to standing, and we're going to come up through chair pose, which is a good strengthener for the core, for your quadricep muscles. So begin by moving your feet back just a little bit. Notice how your heels lift up. The minute you start to stand, allow the heels to drop down. Here we go. Deep breath in. On an exhale now, come up part way. So there's still a bend in your knees. Great. You can leave your hands at the hips, but if you want more intensity, stretch your arms out in front, or even bring them up overhead. And breathe. Press into the floor with your feet. Find that 3-part breath. Feel the strength in your legs. Great. And then lower the arms, straighten the legs, and just take a minute to notice how that feels. And if you want to release some of the tension in your legs, just jiggle them from side to side. So let's come to the side of our chair. I'm going to begin on the left side of my chair. We're also going to be learning a new posture today that we haven't done before called the sky gazer, and it's one of my absolute favorites. So we'll warm up a little bit for some balance work here. Inhale, come on up on your toes. Exhale, drop the heels down. Inhaling, lifting the heels. Exhale, dropping down. So some of the things to keep in mind when you're doing balance work is that the supporting leg, if you're standing on one foot, should always be a little bit soft, not to lock the knee. We want to let the muscles work. So let's rock the feet from side to side. And then with soft knees, let's just circle the feet. Giving yourself a little foot massage here. Feels good. Go in the other direction, please. Great. So shifting your weight to the leg closest to the chair, which should be your right leg. Soften the knee, press down into the foot, and begin to release your left foot. You can come up a little or a lot. You can use your yoga tie under your thigh, or you can hold on below the knee. And breathe. If you want, you can try releasing the chair, bringing in a little balance work. Keep your breath steady. And we'll go into tree pose from here. So begin by drawing that knee out to the side, opening the hips, and then choose a position that works for you. You can keep the foot on the floor, that's fine. Or you can pick it up a little higher. You can hold on to the chair with one arm as you grow your branches, or you can release the chair and reach up and breathe. Nice, steady breaths. And you may notice that your body just wiggles a little bit. That's fine. That's what the body does to maintain balance. Inhaling, exhaling. Great. So I'm going to separate my feet wide apart and then turn both feet so I'm facing the chair. We're going to do straight-legged runner stretch. The thing about the runner stretch is it's a flat back pose. So you can actually feel where the bend is going to come from. It's going to come right from the hip crease. So when you're folding forward, think about creating length between your crown and your tailbone, rather than thinking how far you can come over. You see the difference with the flat back as opposed to the folded back. Okay. So deep breath in, exhale, let's come forward. Reaching out over the chair, reaching, reaching, reaching. You can walk your hands down the chair. You can actually bring your hands to the floor, or you can bring them behind you. Nice steady breath here. Wonderful, deep breath in. Let's come all the way up. And a little bit of a counter stretch, just reaching back. Good, let's do all that on the other side. So again, shifting your weight to the leg closest to the chair, which is your left leg. And I always remind myself to keep that knee soft by doing a little bouncy bounce. Beginning to lift your right foot. Doesn't have to come up far, a little bit or a lot, whatever works for you. You can release the chair if you'd like, or you can continue to hold on. So that bent knee is ready now to move into tree pose. Let's take it out to the side and place the foot on the floor. One hand or two for your branches, your choice. The minute you sink into the posture, find your breath again. Nice, steady breath. Good. Inhale, exhale. Hands to heart. And separate the feet. So I'm going to turn both feet so they're facing the chair, getting ready for the runner stretch. Remember, think about bending right from your hip crease as you exhale forward. Both knees should be soft and unlocked. Walking your hands down wherever you feel comfortable, even bringing the hands behind your back if you like. Let's take one more breath here and let it guide us out of the pose. And a little bit of a counter stretch. Good, and step your feet together. So the pose we're going to work on today is called the Sky Gazer. And in yoga, it's considered a devotional pose because you're lifting your breath upward like a prayer. And that's a very nice image to hold. So the first thing we need to think about is the hand position. And because this is a devotional pose and it's all about opening the heart, we want to find a hand position that allows the chest to be open and the shoulders coming together behind the back. So here are some choices. You can place your hands at your hips and just draw the elbows and the shoulders back, allowing the heart to move forward. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing next. You can also take a hold of opposite elbows and draw the shoulders and the shoulder blades together. If you have the range in your shoulders, you might try what's known as reverse prayer position. I sweep my arms around, bring my hands to prayer, and point my fingers upward between my shoulder blades. So whatever position you choose, you want it to be comfortable and you want it to open your heart. So let's choose a hand position that works. And focus just a minute on opening the heart and drawing the shoulders back. Wonderful. Take a walking step forward on your left foot. Doesn't have to be a big step, a small step. And allow yourself to rock forward and back. What you're looking for is a good, comfortable balance point. Sink down into the hips, soften the knees, draw your shoulders back and turn your gaze upward. Allow the breath to flow. Nice, steady breath. Good. Inhale, bring it back to center. And we'll take a walking step forward with the right foot. Again, if you want to kind of find your balance point by rocking forward and back, that's sometimes helpful. Soften your knees, find your breath, draw your shoulders back, look up. Imagine sending your breath like a prayer upward. Let's do one more breath here. Good. And then bring it back to center. Step your feet together. Release your hands right back to your heart and pause. Wonderful. Let's take a seat, please. So let's just finish up with just a twist, and then we'll have our little seated relaxation. And then I'll come closer to the camera so we can do our breath work, our work on mindfulness. Great. So there's no particular way to do the twist. Just whatever feels right to you. If you want to go from side to side a few times, or perhaps you just want to stay a little longer, twisting to one side and then to the other and holding. And then guiding your body back to center, allowing your hands to relax in your lap, letting your eyes close. Reconnecting with the breath and using this time to notice the effects of the practice on your body, your mind, your energy, your emotions. And know that whatever practice you have had has been the perfect practice for you today. Continue to bring your attention back to the breath and back to the moment as often as you need to. The to-do list can wait just a few minutes longer. And perhaps having a feeling of gratitude for the body, for the breath, for this practice, for each other. Letting your breath get a little bit deeper now and doing some final stretches. Oh, letting out some sounds, some grunts, some groans, some yawns. Namaste. Thank you for this practice. So as I mentioned, I'm going to come up closer to the screen so we can do our breathing practice. So mindfulness is a term that's being discussed a lot lately. And what it really means is paying attention, correct? But Jon Kabat-Zinn, who developed mindfulness-based stress reduction, defines it this way. He says, mindfulness is paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the moment, non-judgmentally. So we do it on purpose. We are telling ourselves that we are going to attend to whatever is in front of us. And you do this in your yoga practice, right? When you focus on your breath, when you focus on how a posture is affecting your body. So over these next sessions, we're going to be exploring specific ways that we can bring mindfulness into our everyday life. And today, we're going to practice a breathing technique known as box breathing. I don't know whether you've ever counted them, probably not, but we take somewhere around 20,000 breaths each and every day. Now, that's pretty amazing. And I know we don't think about it because if we had to think about it in order to breathe, that's all we would do is think about breathing. Fortunately, we don't have to do that. But most of the breaths we take are unconscious breaths. So this is a way, this technique is very, very useful for a lot of occasions. It's a wonderful way to dial down anxiety and tension. It's also a great way if you've had a kind of a stressful day or a stressful situation to gear down to ease yourself into sleep or rest. And we all know how important a good night's sleep is, right? Yeah. So it's called the box breath because we begin by equal length of time breath in and equal length of time breath out. We'll do that, and then I will begin to explore with you some other ways you can adapt the breath to work for you. So let's begin. Just sit comfortably. You don't have to sit in any particular way, but just some way that your chest feels open and relaxed, so you have room to breathe. Good. Eyes can be open or closed. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to begin by breathing into a count of 4 and breathing out to a count of 4. So here we go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Once more, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. And just release that for a minute. If you feel uncomfortable for any reason, there's a couple of things you can do. You can shorten the breath. So instead of breathing in and out to a 4 count, you can shorten it up to a 3 count and see how that works. If you have asthma, if you have obstructive lung disease or allergies, I mean, I'm struggling with allergies myself today. But if you notice those things that make it difficult for you, you can always shorten the count. What we're going to do this time, and I invite you to try it with me, we're going to breathe into a 4 count. We're going to hold the breath in for 1 count. We're going to breathe out for a 4 count. And when the lungs are empty, we're going to hold it empty to a 1 count. And then begin the cycle again. Here's a suggestion. When you breathe in, don't exaggerate the filling of your lungs. In other words, don't breathe in like, and then try to hold the breath in. You'll be very uncomfortable. So try to keep the breath in as natural as you can. So here we go. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in and breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold the body empty. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. And again, 2, 3, 4. And then just relax for a minute and let your breath come back to normal. So what happens when you do this breath is very amazing. When we're under stress, the body breathes differently. We breathe more shallowly from the upper chest. The whole body doesn't breathe. By doing this breath, you stimulate the relaxation response in the body. And that's a very good thing. It allows you to focus more on what you're doing. It allows you to be more creative, and it certainly brings in a state of relaxation. So we're going to go through another couple of cycles of breath, and I invite you to choose the pattern that seems to work best for you, because it's just a matter of practice and finding what works. So I'll be leading through a 4, 4, and a hold of 2 on each side. So relax your shoulders and let's begin. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 2. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out. 1, 2. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath in. 1, 2. Breathing out. 2, 3, 4. Hold the body empty. And breathe in. 2, 3, 4. And relax. Let your breath return to normal. And take a moment to notice the effects of this breath. What do you notice? What do you notice in your thoughts, in your physical body, in your energy? What is there to notice? And I would ask Hillary now if we might unmute folks in the event that they have any questions or problems. I apologize for my dogs barking. So
I'm hesitant to unmute everybody because I don't know what their background noise is, but everybody has the ability. Please feel free to unmute yourself and share. We really would love to hear your feedback.
So I would like to share that this is the first time that I've done yoga. I'm not a big exercise person, and you're very, very calming. So I really do appreciate it. And we're talking from Jerusalem.
thank you. Thank you. I love, who am I speaking with? I can't see everybody's face, so just tell me your name.
My name is Rafa Kaplan.
So let me tell you, I've been practicing yoga for a long, long time, and I certainly am not doing the same kind of practice that I did in my 20s and 30s. I've had to dial it down a lot of notch because I'm 74 now. So I deal with all kinds of chronic health stuff, and that's why I do the practice. And I love sharing it with people and telling them that yoga is for everybody. I mean, there's always a way to modify it, to make it accessible for you.
This is the first time that it's happened, so thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope we'll see you again.
Yep.
You'll be, okay. I'm going to be here.
We were here last week, and this is night in Jerusalem, so it's a little more difficult. But yeah, it's great. Thank you.
And the other nice thing is that Hillary records all of our sessions and makes them available to you afterwards. So if you want to say, oh, I really liked the way I felt when I did that practice, but I can't remember exactly what she did, just watch the video and practice along with the video.
We're two people, but not one.
Well, the both of you practice. You can be more support for one another.
Thank you.
Encourage each other. Did you find that the breathing made you sleepy or energized? Because for me, sleepy.
Well, then it worked. So I said in the beginning that we use different kinds of breathing techniques in yoga. We call them pranayama. And they're designed to bring attention to bring mindfulness to something we do all the time, which is breathing, and we seldom think about it. But depending on the techniques that you use, you're moving energy. You're either bringing your energy level up or you're calming it down. So this one is designed to quiet the mind, to quiet the thoughts. And mainly, what did you notice about the random thoughts in your brain when we were doing this practice? Did they get kind of quiet?
Yes.
Yes. They did. And you know why? You know why that is? Because the brain, as magical as it is and as complex as it is, can only do one thing at a time. And for those of you who like to multitask out there, I hate to tell you, it doesn't work. So when we tell the mind to focus on the breath, that's what it's going to do. So all of those, oh, I wonder what I'm going to have to do later, and I wonder about that phone call I need to make, or this or that or whatever, tends to quiet down. Right?
Great.
So that's why it's effective. Did anybody else have any problems with the breath? No? Oh, you're all in bliss mode. You're all so quiet. Do you have any other questions for me? I would like to ask you to try to practice these techniques between sessions. Excuse me, the more you practice it, the easier it will become, and the benefits will persist longer. So in other words, doing a yoga practice 1 week and then you don't do it again until the next week. It's good. Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you do maybe 2 or 3 practices during the week, you're going to find that the good effects that you feel now will persist.
I have one question.
Yes.
Is there any danger about how you put your head back? Do you have to be very careful when you stretch your head back?
Let me just address that. For instance, when we're doing the sky gazer or one of those poses where you look up, you're correct. The bones in your neck, the little transverse processes, this is the nurse in me talking now, that come out from the spine are very fine in the neck area. And as we age, sometimes we develop arthritis or other problems with those bones and joints in the neck. So it's perfectly fine to do the pose and keep the head in a more neutral position. The extension of the neck is not necessary to get the benefit of the pose. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I've been very anxious through this whole thing, and through this whole coronavirus, and I really feel totally different in this short time from the yoga.
Do you know how that makes me feel, Margie? This is why I'm planning on working towards being the world's oldest yoga teacher, because I love what I do so much that I want to continue to bring it.
And I'm going to go on every day to hear you now, to do it.
I'm sorry, I missed the list.
I'm going to go on every day to do it now, since she filmed it.
Let's give a hip hip hooray for Margie.
Oh, yeah, so glad you joined.
That is kind of thing.
Where do you live in Albany? Albany, California, or Albany, New York?
Albany, New York. I forgot there was an Albany, California. I'm in upstate New York.
I'm from Massachusetts, but I had a lot of family in Albany, New York.
Do you really?
Yes.
I may know some of them because the agency that I work with is Jewish Family Services of Northeastern New York. And we serve our population. We're funded by the State Office for Aging. And also the Jewish Federation gives us some funding. But we serve a 3 square mile area in the middle of the city of Albany. And it's very gratifying work. And it's very challenging work in these times to keep people healthy and happy and safe. You know, we're doing everything we can do, helping with grocery shopping, medication pickup, Zoom classes for our seniors, telephone outreach. I mean, I'm busy from the minute I get up until the minute I go to bed. So
thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to put a plug in for next week. Is that okay, Hillary? Okay, so one of the things that we do every day that we don't think about too much is eating. So we're going to do our mindfulness exercise next week after our yoga practice will be mindful eating. So what I'm going to ask you to remember to have on hand is something small you can eat. I've done this exercise with lots of groups, and what works very well is a raisin or two. So if you have a raisin, or maybe a piece of dried apricot or dried pineapple, don't bring a big sandwich. Because we're going to be focusing on the whole experience of eating. And it's really, if you've never done it before, it is like a light bulb going off in your head. It's a great experience. So,
Yeah.
so I hope you look forward to that. I look forward to being with you again next week. And remember to practice. Namaste. Namaste safe. Namaste healthy. Namaste peaceful. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you so much, Judi. That was beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It was a pleasure to practice together with all of you. I'm so glad we can say we're going to be doing this for the next 2 Wednesdays. And I will be, as Judi said, sending you the recording. So it would be amazing if you continue to practice this throughout the week to continue to gain the benefits. We're so glad to be able to be doing this alongside what Amit is doing in Israel. And so we're just so glad to be together with all of you. Thank you so much. We have a really robust calendar of offerings, from shiurs to movement. And so I'll be sending a follow-up email, and it'll have the link to our virtual calendar. Thank you, everybody, and have a beautiful day. Bye.
Thank you, Hillary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judi.
Thank you,
Look
Judi.
forward to the emails.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Bracha. See you all soon.
Bye.